Give YouTube a refresh. Okay. Cool. All right. Should be live. It says I'm live on the YouTube. Cool. Yay. Let me just retweet this one more time. And I'll say awesome. All right. I'm here for the doggy. Thanks, Coder Nerd. Coder Nerd. Uh, I'm also here for the doggy. So, yeah, that was the most fun part so far of this project, was putting a bunch of pictures of my dogs together. But yeah, what is this project? So I'll just start sharing and we'll start talking about things. That is Twitter. So remix image guide. It's the thing I'm working on. I'm trying to create some guides for our images. Also, let me know if this is I'm live and uncensored. That's good. Let me know if it's choppy. It looks kind of choppy on my side, but I can't tell if that's just I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I feel like the frames drop in my camera a lot. I still haven't figured that out yet. But yeah, making this image guide with a bunch of different things. We got a basic example. And that is going to include a lot of pictures of my dogs. Yeah. It says that I'm getting an error. It says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, such as viewers will expect. Jeez. It's always something, isn't it? Always something. So let's see what really fast. Let's look at my speed test, make sure everything's good. I'm sorry, this is the boring part. Yeah, that's not the best. I mean, okay, it's getting better. It's fine now. It started with small frame drop, but it's a lot better now. Okay, cool. I think that's just how it goes. All right, thank you. Sorry for that brief interruption. I will be focused now. Okay, so remix image guide. Yeah, we got a bunch of guides. We've got the basic example down, which talks about how like just images work in general, and like how source sets work and sizes and all these kind of things. So this one's like pretty much done, which is good. And the one that I want to focus on now is the vite-plugin-image-optimizer. So I don't have much written here, but I want to just kind of walk through what this is and then think about like how I want the guide to look like here. So I wrote on the, how do I actually find that? That was a mistake to put that in the live stream itself. See, I can't even get to it. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me go to this page, and I just need to mute myself really quickly. All right, so in the description of this video, this live stream, which is what I was struggling to get to, we can see it here. I've got my plan is to refamiliarize myself with the plugin, clean up the example, develop an outline for the guide, and then capture screenshots and GIFs. So this probably is the most interesting part in terms of a stream, is we're just going to be talking about how this this plugin that I'm talking about actually works. So move that back over. And so yeah, so the vite-plugin image optimizer, let's go to that. Sorry, so I'm coming down from a small cold. I believe Ryan Florence gave me, but so I might cough a little bit. All right, so this is a little plugin downloaded, 14,000 times weekly, so definitely well used. Some features it has is optimizing SVG assets into SVGO. This is, I think, a big one that people want to use it for, is automatically converting like SVGs into SVGO, which is like when you import an SVG, it turns it into React components and whatnot. I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait, that was sharp. That's not what I expected that to go to. I don't think that's the right link. Oh well. I don't actually want to use it for this though. I don't really like importing my SVGs as like React components. Maybe SVGO does something different. SVG optimizer. It's a node library for command line applications for optimizing SVG files. Okay, so maybe it's just optimizing them. I'm all for optimizing things. I just don't want to like turn them into React components. I'm kind of against that. SVGs just should, for the most part, be like images or whatever. That's fine. I'm not really using it for SVGs. I'm using it for this part, optimize scalar assets, PNG, JPEG, GIF, blah, 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 using sharp.js. That is actually the link that was, yeah, this library, Node.js library. We're going to be talking about this one a lot over these streams, with the options to pass custom configs and options to process all assets in your public directory. So basically what this is doing, you can kind of see the screenshot here, is it's just going to go through all the assets and you can specify kind of which ones, and it's just going to do a pass through to optimize everything, which is actually, it's pretty nice. So it's like, this is really good for If you have like maybe a really simple blog or just a simple website and you're like, I just want to be able to throw images into it and I just want them to automatically be optimized whenever I build. So it's great for that. It's great because you don't have to set up some like complex system or get an image CDN or whatever. Downsides are it's going to be at build time. So you're going to be running that every single build versus like at runtime, which is maybe you want runtime because you have a lot of images. So this is good for a smaller amount of images, but as your project grows and you have a bunch of images, you're just slowing down your build by optimizing them every time. And you're just re-optimizing every single time when you really only need to theoretically optimize an image only one time. But, it is what it is. So ease versus like robustness or like scalability is maybe the correct word is where we're at. Cool. So I am going to actually not even start with my project because I had an idea. I want to find, what is this one? P. Katori blog. So Pedro on the team, there he is, wrote like this remix blog MDX template. I don't know what you would call this exactly, maybe example. And so I wanted to use it as a little example on how easy it is to get this thing going. So I'm just going to use this. I'm going to clone it. Cool. Yes. Okay, cool. So in the remix blog, let's open that project up. Let me know, obviously, if you can't see anything or if the file size is like too small on something, and I'll bump stuff up. We'll just get started here. How would it handle image sizes that are defined by user input? So yeah, it's a great question. So that's actually another good point. This is really not good for user like uploaded images because it only analyzes like your static assets and like your actual repo. So this plugin is only going to run over your own code. It's not going to run over like a database of like images or something like that. That's when you really want to start using like a CDN. Especially if you're doing image uploads, you're pretty much going to have some storage of those images anyway. So you're either going to be building essentially what is your own CDN, or you're going to be using someone else's. Like you can't really get away from that at that level of complexity, which is fine. That's why we kind of want tiers to this sort of thing. If I go back to Chrome, that's why we've got the basic example, this little optimizer, this guy. It's going to be similar to this one, but more control. And then sharp is like how you build your own. And then unpick is like how is a library for like interfacing with a CDN in a very framework agnostic way. So that's kind of the progression I'm thinking through. Okay, cool. So thanks for asking that question. So yeah, I wanted to let's do a couple things. I'm gonna actually run not the dev version of this. I want to run the prod version. So we're just gonna do npm run build. Nope, we need to install first. Good chance for some tea. All right. Man, tea is so great when you have a cold. I feel like tea is like whatever most of the time, but when my head is like super congested and my throat hurt for several days, tea is really nice. Something about just steeping leaves in water really helps. You feel better as a human. Crazy. All right, so npm run build and npm start. This will be the prod version of this. Cool. Yeah, so let's go to localhost 3000, and then we got their little thing. This is super zoomed in. Okay, cool. So yeah, okay, so look, sorry, I want to open the network tab to actually see what's like running, what we download. So we've got like one little image, so that's not that interesting. And that actually might be the only image. This is probably a pretty bad example, but it'll still show the point. We can filter by just images. Yeah, we just got the hero PNG. I don't need to disable the cache. And it's 152 kilobytes, not a big deal. So now if we go into the vite config, what we're going to do is they've got a bunch of things set up, but we want to add the little thing that we're working with, this vite-plugin-image-optimizer. So the way it works is you install it. It's pretty normal. You also drank 5 teas today? Dang. And you also have a cold. The first day I had a cold, I did drink like 5 or 6 teas. Today, this is my first. So I'm very sorry for you that you have a cold, and I hope you feel better as well. Okay, so we've installed it, and then what else do you do? A warning, Sharp and SVGO don't come installed as part of the package. You have to install them manually and add them as a dev dependency. This is a design decision, so you can choose to skip installing Sharp if you only want to optimize SVG apps. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, I actually only want Sharp. I don't want the SVGO. Like I said, I'm not doing any SVG optimizations right now. If you want to do that, I mean, the docs are here. It's great. Go for it. I'm just not doing that right now. Okay, so we're also downloading that, which is great, or Sharp, which is great. And then it's pretty simple. A default, you're just going to import the vite-image-optimizer, and then you're going to pass it through your plugins. So here we can just do vite-image. I was hoping it would like automatically import, but I guess it won't. So let's add it up here. And then we will go down here. Cool. So now that we've added it, we can see that it actually does come with like a bunch of configs, bunch of stuff you can change, which is cool. So one thing I need to see is, yeah, okay, so there's heroes in here. So I don't think by default it's going to actually do anything. Let's test this. Okay, so this is 152 kilobytes, right? So we've added this, and let's go ahead and run the npm run build and npm run start and see if that actually changed anything. Okay, that was pretty quick. Oh, okay, it did. I'll get back to that in 1 second. So if we refresh this, we can see this is now 25.5 kilobytes. So that's really nice. Just like plug and play images is is more optimized. That's really great. I don't know, like yeah, maybe it's a worse quality image. I can't 100% tell because like, yeah, if I zoom in, I can start seeing it. And then if we get rid of this and run this again, let's see, once this is done, how different it looks. I'm gonna refresh. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if you can see that through the stream, how different that was, but yeah, it's definitely different. Like it compressed it. That's just the reality. Reality. So it compressed it, which is what we wanted to do. And it's back to 152 kilobytes. But we have some options here. So some options that we have is one, we can say include public, and we can say false. This would say, hey, don't go over public. I do not want you to do that. Because I don't know, maybe your images are something somewhere else or in some other way. In this case, we're just using public to host the one image that we have. So we really do want it to go through public, which I believe is the default, but we'll just show that here. Include public. Yeah, this is the default. Oh, nice. Okay, we got the full thing. It's got like a little test, so this tells you what to look for. So we could change this, which is nice. Some exclude and include to say like which files or folders and directories and everything to include, which is nice. Some stuff for SVG, we don't care about that. And then this is actually something I really like, is you can specify the quality at which you want it to like degrade or compress to for everything, or like lossless for AVF and WebP and whatnot. And you can also set a cache so that it will like skip that next time. So let's go through a couple of these. So we got include public. That's defaulted to true, but I'll put it here for explicitness. Yeah, this is super simple. I agree. So PNG, that's the only one we have right now. So let's go to like, let's do quality. Oh, there's a lot of things. No, wait, go back. I want to see all that. Okay. Yes, there's a bunch of stuff. I'm pretty sure all this comes from Sharp. This is just like showing you what Sharp can do. So this is just a wrapper around that. You can change color and the British version of color. You got both options, which is great. We love we love honoring our brothers over the sea. And across the sea. Across the pond is what they say, I think. In across the pond, I believe they say that. And compression level, all sorts of things. So we'll just do the quality. And yeah, let's set it to like 80 and let's run this again. And I skipped over this last time, but I'll show it this time because it's pretty cool. It shows you, it will go through all of them, and this will be even more clear when we go to like my the like remix image guide, and it shows you for each of them like what did it do. It went from 148.33 to 24.65, and it's 83% savings, which is really cool. Yeah, so it does all that, and that's good. That's what we want, right? So we can refresh this. Let me zoom back out. This is kind of silly looking. Yay. Okay, awesome. Let's like, I don't know, let's do something ridiculous. Let's like do 10% quality and see how much it goes to. So that was at 24.65. We're going to run it one more time. And it went, actually didn't even go down that much more. So it's like, it's really not a linear like drop off. I don't know all the details of like how the quality works. Like it's just a dial, and then it's kind of like deciding what to do. But yeah, it's definitely not linear. So there's a big drop off, which is fine. but we really don't want 20. I don't know, like 80 is probably fine. You know, again, this is just like a broad sweep. Like I'm gonna apply this to all the things, and then you would have to, like, if you had JPEGs, you have to set those ones and all the different things. Or some of these other ones, adaptive filtering. Yeah, I don't really actually want to mess with all these, but there's all sorts of stuff you can do, which is cool. And then the last thing that I wanted to show, so let me run this one more time. The last one I want to do is not WebP. I want to do, yeah, cache. And I'll just say true. And so if you do cache true and you run this one more time, it should just skip over the optimization. Actually, this time, ooh, what happened? What happened? Let's look up the docs for that. It's maybe the case that you have to also have a cache location. Cache assets and cache location when enabled, region rights. Oh, okay, cool. That makes sense. Path to the cache directory. Okay, so let's add a cache directory. That's interesting. I suppose this will work. Yeah, I think that's fine. So I think there's kind of two ways you may want to do this. You may want to actually like cache it and upload those assets to something, in which case you want to do it in node modules. But if you're just caching for faster like dev times locally, then this is perfectly fine because this will get blown away each time you run npm install, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so we're going to run this. And then this time, let's open up our node modules. Oh my goodness. I mean, that makes sense. That doesn't exist. Maybe let's delete this part. Sometimes this is why I just can't. You can't trust. Copilot is great if like you know what it's gonna do, but if you're just trusting that it knows that it's gonna do something cool, then it's like always wrong every single time. So yeah, there you go. Threw it in .cache. So I could run a command before this that makes that directory if we really wanted to have a directory. So cool. Now this is in here, and so the next time I run this, it should say like, hey, this is cache, so I don't need to rerun that. Which again, this is really nice for dev because in dev you're changing things a lot, and like your vite config may be running stuff again. You don't want to do that every time. Yeah, there it says cached, and it's good to go. Okay, so that's that's it. That's how it works, right? It's really simple. So I think I'm done with this. So that was good. Not sorry, not done with the stream. Done with the remix blog MDX. That's pretty much how it works. So let's do a little bit of cleanup. Just delete that before I forget to. I really like deleting files and deleting random directories from my computer. I don't know why. It makes me feel like things are cleaner, even though it's like if I threw it somewhere, I would never see it. I wouldn't even care. Okay, cool. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the remix image guide. And we're going to open this up and see what I already have. Right. So let's just open up the vite plugin. Yeah, it's this one. Guides.vite-plugin-image-optimizer, and then we got a route. Okay, so this one doesn't even do much. Did I not have? Okay, interesting. Sorry, getting distracted. So let's see. This has a picture of my puppy when she was a puppy. That cute little ear. So she's a Great Dane, half German Shepherd mix. So she got kind of that Great Dane, like German Shepherd ear. Like they wanted to stick up, but they couldn't because they were just too big. So that's my puppy. And let's go to the vite config and see how I already set this up. So it looks like, okay, I'm doing a pretty similar thing. I am saying log stats. That's another thing. You can turn that off if you don't want to see those stats, but they're helpful. And then we can specify the test. And so this is helpful because now we're just saying, hey, this should only be looking for this specific file, whatever file it is. This is probably not the best way to do this. I probably actually want to do this like a directory of these. So I think I'm going to change that. And then it says JPEG, or change the quality and whatnot. So yeah, let's run this for now. And I'm trying to remember something I should have tested is seeing if this runs during dev or not. I kind of feel like it doesn't, but this will be, yeah, this will be good to verify. Which I guess that makes sense now that I think about it, that it wouldn't run in dev. Let's see if it says anything about that. Let's go to the code. Let's see if this is easy to find. If it's just got like a flag that says like if the env is dev or something. Yeah, and what I'm thinking is like if the environment is development, it just like skips. I don't know exactly where that is. That's okay, not a big deal. It seems like that's what it's doing based on the fact that like nothing showed up, and I do have log stats as true. And then if I run npm run build, we should see, yeah, it told me that, not that, this one. Total savings was, oh my gosh. See, that doesn't seem right. Seems like you you went over some other things I didn't want you to. Oh my goodness, why is this so big? No, that's totally right. Is this really that big? Why? Yeah, 7.35 megabytes. Okay, so this is like a super unoptimized uh file. Oh my gosh. All right, cool. I guess it just came straight from my phone, so that makes sense. Sorry, I've got one of these dumb little things, and it tells me, oh, you probably can't see that. OBS, how do I change things? Got one of these dumb little things. I don't know if they're useful, but it's telling me that there's too much carbon dioxide in my room, so I'm probably gonna die or get really sleepy. Um, okay, so this is a big file, big file, and we want to change it. And we did confirm that if we are running npm run dev, oh my gosh, sorry, that was an accident. npm run dev, and then we go over here and we look at the remix image guide. And we go to this one, and we're just looking for images. Oof, what is going on? Why are you blowing up? Weird. Okay, it's 7.7 megabytes, and then if I do npm run build and npm start, I think start is actually on 3000 for some reason. We'll see. Yeah, it is localhost 3000, and we go here. Ooh, forgot to open up the network. Of course, it blew up again. I gotta fix that. Okay, it's 1.7 megabytes versus 7.7. Okay, so yeah, important caveat to know. So let me include this in the doc for now. Is that this only will run in dev. Only runs. No, said that wrong. In production. During the production build, which is good. I mean, it would be a lot if you're like trying to optimize your images every single time you're in dev. So we're not doing that. Okay, cool. So that's that. I do need to take not a break. I need to go down a rabbit hole and figure out why I'm getting a random Zod like validation error. That was super weird. Let's see if it's a 0. Okay, invalid type string received undefined. Path is image. My goodness. So where are we using Zod? This is, yeah, probably overcomplicated this piece of it. Z, okay, so is this front matter schema? No, actually, that's kind of correct. That error just sucks. There it says it. It says image alt. Zod errors are like, I don't know. I feel like they could be better by default, but whatever. You're probably supposed to like supply your own anyway. How do I do that? If I'm parsing and there's an error, is it like another change? No, it's not. That makes sense. Is it here? Oh, you can get like the error map and say stuff. Oof. Okay, that's fine. So basically it's saying there's no image alt, which is fine. I joined late, should just use unimage with remix vite. What is unimage? I don't know. But hey, thanks for joining, JLarky. Um, so anyway, also I think my stream is like pretty far behind, so I'm sorry if I'm like really slow to respond. Anyway, okay, so back to what I'm focusing on. I want to fix that image alt. So all that is inside of my route. I just need to add an image alt here. Oh man, what is this supposed to be? Sorry, I need to get the comparison with the basic. They give you class, man. Why is YouTube hiding things from me? They give you a class like instance of Zod error. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to be messing with Zod right now, but you're right. I should fix that just like on the site. I need to make that error just a little bit more clear because it was not obvious what I was doing. That's fine. Oh, sorry. I thought I copied that. Okay, so I need a title. I've got that, a description, which is good, and then I need an image. We'll do the same thing. That should probably be a default. This should probably be optional, but it's fine. Okay, cool. Now it's not going to blow up on me. That's really interesting that that blew up only on client side. I'm wondering why. Why would that happen? That would happen because what is this little parser doing? From matter schema runs when we run. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's really not a big deal. Okay, cool. So, great. Now this is working. Okay, so what we've done is we haven't done a lot in this one, and we want to go back to the vite config. So what we've done is we have the vite image optimizer. It is only working for a specific file name, which is not what I want. I actually would like this just to be a directory. So let's do that. And the directory that I want it to be is yeah, go away. Why are you open? This one, the guides.vite plugin image optimizer. Oh, unpick. Thank you. Yes, that is that's kind of the end of the story here. So yeah, I said this earlier and I'll say it again. I'm in the middle of working out each of these guides, right? But this is pretty much the TLDR of like what my recommendation is. Like, first, let me say I don't think Remix should have an image component. I just don't think this is the responsibility of what Remix is as a framework. Remix is very much like a request handler almost as a framework, versus like something like Next that's like trying to be the all-encompassing, we have the entire ecosystem kind of framework. Remix is very much like, we want to handle your routes and your request handling, and like you go, figure out like your solutions for images and whatnot. We're not trying to sell you on a CDN or anything. So basic example, this is the only one that's done. This is like really just walking through how do sizes and source set and all that kind of work. If you have feedback on this, I'd love to hear it because I'm not an expert in this stuff. I just tried to read some MDM docs and get an example that worked decently well. So that's what this one is. And then vite plugin image optimizer, what we're on right now. This is like I'm just throwing something together. I don't really want to think about optimizing my images. I just want something to automatically do it for me. I know this isn't scalable. This is just to get going. It's not good for user like uploaded images and whatnot as well. Vite image tools is going to be very similar. It just has more power because you can pass in like query params as you import your images. So then you can specify like the sizes and stuff, which is pretty cool. Sharp is what these are using under the hood, and I think some aspects of Unpick use it. And so we'll just talk about like what it would look like to build your own, essentially building your own image CDN is kind of what that is. So there's some existing examples. We're just going to modify them a bit, I think. And here, I'm trying to think when we're going to talk about it because there's a remix image. I looked at this last time. Remix image. Let's see if it just comes up. Yeah, this one, by Josh McFarlane. There is a remix image like component in the ecosystem, which is pretty cool. But you have to set up like a loader for like the Sharp like library to run, and then you set up the image, and it's a bit more setup. It's not like as simple as something like a next image where you just like drop it in and it automatically works or whatever. Which is fine again because like we don't, yeah, anyway, lots of reasons. So anyway, that's what that one is. And then finally, yes, we'll get to unpick, and that's kind of my recommendation. Like if you're doing anything sophisticated enough, you need to use this a image CDN probably anyway. So whether you're using Vercel or Cloudinary or Cloudflare or whatever, Unpick or Shopify, I should say that actually they have their own image CDN. Unpick knows how to speak to each of those, and it's framework agnostic. Because like images shouldn't really be specific to the framework. It's kind of the point of all this. And so yeah, use that. Yeah, yeah, this is probably not the most interesting one. You've built one for Remix using iPix. Yeah, I don't know if you can send me links, but you're welcome to just like DM me or tweet things at me. I don't think I'm looking at the right thing. Is this like oh, here we go. High performance, secure, and easy to use image optimizer. Perfect. Oh, powered by Sharp SVG. Okay, perfect. All of these just come back to Sharp. It's all just layers on top of Sharp is what I'm realizing. Okay, cool, nice. Yeah, if you have that example, I like probably will just include. It'd probably be helpful just to include like a. I don't want to say like honorable mentions, but just like maybe like, hey, other resources, other things to look into, other inspiration, because like this is just it's a guide. It's just supposed to show you kind of like how to think about this stuff. Because at the end of the day, yeah, your project might need different things, and you might not care that much, or you might have care a lot. But yeah, I just don't think that just throwing an image component at people really solves like the problems of high performance images without like trying to couple them to your deployment platform. In my opinion, personally, for me. IPX is the one used in Nuxt. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah, I'm not as familiar with like the Nuxt ecosystem, so that's really helpful. You had to hack around it with H3. Okay, this sounds great. I'm excited to see it. Okay, cool. What am I doing with my life? All right, I wanted to change this test. I'm so bad at regex, man. Well, it's got to be like route slash. Can I just like? Can I do this? I always do this wrong. Uh, vite-plugin-image-optimizer. I just want that right. Isn't the star supposed to be like anything coming before or after? But it needs to be a directory, right? Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this stuff. Oh, is this not even like, wait, why did it get rid? It's not, oh, because I have this in a string. Silly me. Whoops. Um, I don't know. I'm doing something. This is like, man, nothing makes me feel dumber than writing regexes. Like this is like completely botched at the moment. Why is that botched? Because it doesn't know what this is. There we go. Okay. So vite plugin image optimizer. That's what I want, but I want it to also be like slash anything. I want anything in here. Do I need to slash that one? And then I want this to like, I don't have to say routes slash guides dot. I want to get rid of that part, but let's just do this for now and let's see if that works. This is the worst stream. If you're just watching me write a regex, this is a bad stream. All right, npm run build. Yeah, so totally. Oh my gosh. Nothing to repeat. All right, let's just do this the way I always do this. Sit.test. Cool. Okay, great. So what is what did I do before? So I just gave it the name of Big Ear, but I want to give it like a folder. I don't need to give it a folder. It's just mapping over everything, right? So I need it to say, oh, that's super interesting. I clearly don't know how this works. How do you just test for like a directory with this thing? Ugh, this is like the stuff I hate thinking about. Let's go to their test directory and see if they have any good examples. So it looks like it's just, yeah, they're just saying like different file names, which is like really not what I want. Test to match files against, yeah. So I'm not sure if I can even say a directory. So maybe the include and exclude is actually what I want. So let's say include. This will override any option set in test and exclude. That's great. And has a higher preference. Okay, that makes sense. Can I include like a directory? Because that's really all I want to do. And if you have the answer and you're watching this, let me know. All right, let's try it again. Fingers crossed. It's taking much longer. Oh, okay. No, I do not believe that worked. Because I believe it would be telling me that it worked. So back to my original test. I would really hope this works, that you can just like say it, like look at this directory. That feels, yeah, okay, see. This is how I know. Oh my gosh, this is how I know it will work. Is it'll actually say that. But I don't know. This feels wrong. Write a regex that matches the directory routes. Okay, I mean, maybe we'll try this. I don't know. So let's see if it does this. We'll just do all of them and then we'll narrow it down. So let's try that and see if it runs. Like I said, this is like the most boring part of all this. It's just trying to get this include directory thing to work. Yeah, that didn't work. So maybe it can't, because my worry is that this thing is like not actually looking at directories. It's just looking at files, I think. I don't know if that's true. This is a guess. Oh, directory. There's the include public. That's not what I care about. Cache location, not what I care about. Gosh. Let's see if I can muck around with the repository and see kind of how they're doing it. I assume it's in here. Sizes map, apply SVGO. I don't care about that. So you get a file path. That makes sense. Where do you actually use include? Maybe that's what I want to see. So options.include, if you have it, all files reduce the accumulator, and the file path, and then the file path, you get the file name itself from the file path, and then you say are files matching, and you take the file name and options.include, which is like not what I want. I think this is the problem because you're just looking at the actual file name itself. Ugh, that's annoying. Excuse me. All right, let's log in here. What am I looking for? I'm looking for vite-plugin-image-optimizer. Live coding is hard. Yeah, this is, I mean, and the reason I'm doing it is because I just wasn't getting this guide done, and this helps me do it. All right, so yeah, so you're gonna match these two guys. So let's just really fast here, say file name. This is gonna get kind of crazy, isn't it? Yeah, I just want to see the file name. Yeah. This might go crazy. I actually don't know. Oh, man. See, I probably did the wrong one. It's probably the MGS one, isn't it? Yep. Not bad. Option. Oh my goodness. Options dot include. Okay, doing the same thing here. I think it's running this guy. One more time. Oh. Guess I should have looked at what git file name was. I did not expect that to be a function. Where is this called? This is called here. Oh, okay. So it gets the path and then takes the bundler path dot name. Yeah. Yeah, this isn't it. And then our files matching, what does it do here? It says is string matcher, is regex matcher, and you test it all. Ugh. Wait, I'm actually very confused. Why is the file name? I'm so silly. I did file name without the capital N, which is, like I said, global. Oh my gosh. All right, cool. Got it this time. All right, yeah, that's completely unhelpful. Because it's just literally getting all the actual file names. It's not giving me, sorry for that snot there. Hopefully that wasn't disgusting. It's not getting me the directory because I just want to point to a directory. All right, that's a knock against this one. Give me more control. It's okay. It's not a big deal. I just am really surprised. I'm really surprised you can't specify what directory to look into. That to me feels obvious, but it's fine. It's not a biggie. Okay, no biggie. We're gonna get rid of this, close this, delete that, just to keep our campsite clean. Gosh. So if I just run it with everything, what happens? It's gonna like optimize a shit ton of stuff and then mess up all the other tests, isn't it? It's not ideal. Tea break. Yeah. It's also another problem with this, and I maybe need to just like nerd snipe Pedro is it goes over the assets. I think it goes over the server and the client because we like move the assets in between or do something crazy. We have like a double run. So that's kind of ridiculous. So let's maybe add that there and say maybe ask Pedro. We seem to do a double run of vite, which means this plugin runs multiple times, which is kind of silly. That's okay. Let's do cache. Stop suggesting that. I don't want you to do that. I just want you to go into the dot cache. So let's add the cache, and by cache I mean cache location and then cache. So in this situation, would it skip that second run at least? It's kind of a band-aid, but I don't know, maybe it's the band-aid we need. Again, like this is really not the thing I would suggest to use anyway, except for the case where you are just have some, I don't know, really simple application. You just want to automatically optimize everything. Okay, cool. So it skips all these, which is good. Sweet. All right. So yeah, so we're definitely gonna need the cache. So we can say like APIs to discuss. Um, Stop pretending like you know what I'm talking about. Copilot. And the ones we want to talk about is we want to talk about I don't know, maybe log stats. That's what we have open. That's kind of lower on the rung for me. I'm talking about cache slash cache location. We want to talk about things like JPEG slash PNG. Do they have? I'm curious about this. If I do yeah, they've got both. How silly. Because that's just if you're there's no difference between JPEG and JPG. I'm pretty sure there's like that's just if you named your file a certain way, which is kind of annoying that you have to duplicate the config, but you could just do like whoop, const JPEG config or something and have it here and then just pass it to both. Or you could just penalize people who are using one version that you don't like. PNG like objects or whatever. Talk about sharp. How these are sharp uh, options. Also, actually, sharp. I'm wondering something about it. What is it built on top of? Is it built on top of something? Is it just running like FFmpeg, or is it doing its own thing? I guess it's doing its own thing. I have no idea. I'm kind of scared to look at how it works because it seems really scary. I don't. Yeah, this is beyond me. Anyone know how sharp works? Anyway, all right, that's totally a distraction. Okay, so we want to talk about that. We want to talk about cache location. Maybe we'll talk about log stats. I don't know, maybe the what's it called? Like exclude public, include public. But here's a good point to also talk about like test Yeah. Let's do this like slash test slash include slash exclude. Can't do sharpest one using WASM. That seems right to me. Um, yeah, I'm sure you're right. Can't like can't use can't search for directories, only file names. Oops, file names. Which is fine. It's not a big deal. It's just like a slight limitation of like how I would like to use this. Not a big deal. Okay, cool. So the test that we're gonna do, I think it's fine for this. Let's just call it, let's maybe name this something different. So we got, I guess that's fine. It makes it really, really explicit. So we got this one image. And that's the test. Okay, cool. And so I got the quality set to like 80. Okay, cool. So what else was I going to do today? So I refamiliarized myself with the plugin. Hopefully some other people learned how this plugin works. I wanted to clean up this example. There's not a lot to clean up. I actually made it dirtier. um, so yeah, I added some APIs I want to talk about, notes, maybe something I asked Pedro about, which I think this is just uh, probably only solved via caching. Uh, circumvented. That's not how you, is that how you spell that word? That looks super wrong. No, that's right. Okay. And then I had some stuff down here. I don't actually need this to look this way because this is now in Markdown. Yeah, so let's get rid of this. Oh, this is the deployed version. Oops. Okay. Come on, dev. Where are you at? Oh, I'm on 3000. There we go. Do. Pull this out. We don't need all this stuff. Don't need this stuff. Don't need this stuff. Probably worth mentioning, yeah, like you're still gonna want to set an aspect ratio and whatnot, so that, oh my gosh, okay, so that when this is like throttling or whatever, oh, this is a bad example. Let me do an example where there's like some text on here, so you don't get like CLS cumulative layout shift. Slow 3G was way too slow because this image is actually kind of big. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you kind of want that. You probably should add like maybe a background color or something, just to make it really obvious. BG, like gray, doesn't matter. I don't think this is going to be dark mode compatible. That looks terrible. I'll go back and probably clean up some of these styles. There you go. Cool. Beautiful. Yeah, so I mean, at the bare minimum, if you're not going to do any source sets or anything like that, if you're not going to do like crazy optimizations, you can at least use an aspect ratio and like max width and things like that. Make this thing width full. So I should probably explain some basic image CSS tricks. Not really tricks, but whatever. Also, that's probably trademarked. Can't use that word. And then that will be really all that the example is it's really just showing that, which is cool. Let me get this back here. This is ridiculous how long it takes. I mean, it makes sense. It's just, it's so slow. Let me see. Let me get a dev and a prod going side by side. Just so we can see what this looks like in the final version. I do like that these are on different ports and I don't have to think about that. But it does sometimes confuse me. Sometimes I forget. So there's that one, and here's this one. Perfect. Okay, so this one goes down to 1.7. That's still like way too big. 1.7 megabytes. Because if you go to this one, these are, yeah, 75 kilobytes, which is way, way, way more reasonable. And that's like the same size image. So yeah, still not good enough, which is fine. Okay, cool. So what else do I want to do? I had on my list. I want to clean up the example. That's fine. Develop an outline for the guide. I'm kind of doing that. And then capture screenshots as GIFs or GIFs. Team GIF for me, personally. Not that anyone asked. Yeah, so I think the screenshots I want to capture, I think I'm just gonna write these down. I don't think I'm gonna do it right now because I need to get off the stream and go do some other stuff. So screenshots to capture. Oop, chapter. We want one of like the console log, or what do they call it? They call it the log stats. Log stats in terminal. Another one we want is like probably like dev versus prod image size. And then I don't know, like maybe lower the quality a ton and show difference. I don't know. I don't even know if that's necessarily interesting. I think this one will be pretty simple. Because yeah, it's really just like, hey, just throw this thing at your stuff, and you're good. Screenshots, and then like definitely some code samples will be, here's like the final thing. Might change this a little bit. We got this one. I guess this can be TS, that's fine. So that's what that looks like. Well, no, that's too removed. Let's show it in context. Things we're gonna get rid of. We don't need the MDX in that example. We'll keep remix. Gonna get rid of this one. We don't even need that. So we'll show like, this is what it looks like. Neat. Maybe even throw this in here. What do we need? We need this one. We need this guy. And we need this. So that's a good code example or code sample, whatever, of how this works. And then might change this. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, any other like code that I would be showing. Because I think that's basically it. Cool. All right. Well, that's it. Thank you for coming and watching me think out loud for a bit. Yeah, gonna try and do these periodically. This is probably, I don't know, like not the most exciting plugin, but it's pretty simple and straightforward. So hopefully, I don't know, it's better than like not optimizing your images at all was kind of my thought process. Definitely excited. The next one will be similar, but it's pretty cool. I felt like it's kind of a cool little library. It's called vite-image-tools, and yeah, you can use like query params to like set things, which is pretty neat. So I like that. And then yeah, we'll start getting into Sharp and Unpick, which like I might need to do a little more prep. Otherwise, y'all are just gonna be watching me read docs. And by y'all, I mean like the 4 people who showed up. Thank you for showing up. That was nice. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for joining and have a wonderful day.